Are you raw?
I'm so raw. I had to throw that.
My name is Celine Gonzalez, and I'm 18 years old.
For everybody that's my friend. Thank you.
I remember my mom always telling me to do things right. I grew up, my mom went to church, but my dad didn't. And so my mom was always telling me how I should live my life, and like, I guess she put fear into me, fear to do what's right, and she'd always be like, oh, well, God's watching you, like, you don't want to do this wrong because God's watching you. And growing up, I saw God as someone who was always just watching what I did and always wanted me to do what was right. And I guess sort of like, I don't know how to explain like sort of like a ruler, like a dictator in a way. I saw God like that, and I felt that he was always just watching and trying to see if I would mess up.
My name's Luis Paniagua, and my age is 22. See, I was born in a little small country, El Salvador. I was like 7 when I came here. We always grew up in a Catholic church. We would go to La Misa, that they call it. Growing up, it was my father was never there for me. I met him when I was 18. Yeah, I was 18 when I met him, and it's been kind of hard with not having a dad there. I always had towards my dad, bitterness, and it's just, I remember seeing him call my phone, and I would never answer.
I wanted to feel accepted, and so I remember I started rebelling. My mom, she forced me to go to a youth camp that summer. I think it was 7th or 8th grade year, and she was like, if you don't get into that bus, I'm going to get you by your hair and drag you in that bus.
I remember my mom took me to church. I kind of didn't want to go at all. Like, I remember making fun of the church because I really didn't like pay attention or anything. But throughout the years, as I started going more, I remember I had that feeling, like, wow, like, where was I at this whole time? Like, what, I've been missing this. That emptiness that I had throughout my life, I found it.
I always thought teenagers hated God or hated rules, but after I saw that, I was just like, what? I remember I got into high school, and there was I've always had that desire to be accepted, and being accepted by God, I had that, but I went back to wanting to fit into school. I remember I started going to those freshman parties, like quinceañeras or something. I thought it was cool. I was like, yeah, I'm getting invited to those, like, this is cool. And I was always an A-B student, A. And so I got into high school, and I was like, I was in pre-P, I was in honors, and I was like, okay, like, this is cool, but I don't want to do that. I want to be cool. I want to be cool in school. I don't know, to me, back then, presentation, my outer was very important, and so I was like, how can I approach people if I look like this? And so I stopped going to those quinceañeras, and I stopped hanging out with people, and I was really enclosed to myself, and I stayed at home. And after that, it was tough on me, but now that I see it after a couple years, I feel like I'd really use that.
It means that it's just a place with broken people, and like, come to God just the way you are. Because we help each other out. It's impacted my life by a lot of ways, actually. Like, I feel like if I didn't come to Raw, I don't know where I would be right now. Like, I'd probably be lost, doing drugs and other stuff. Ever since I came to Raw, like, I feel so welcome. So loved, especially because it's a bunch of young people.
Well, I can't state them, but I know they're in the Bible where it says that God doesn't look at the outer appearance, He looks what's inside. And so like in the end, like we're all gonna get old and we're all gonna get wrinkly, and so like don't spend time caring about how you look. Like yeah, your body is a temple of God, but it should never go above what God is intended you to care for it. So that's what I would advise them. Like it does not matter. It really does not. Be happy with who you are. Like that's something that always like. I wish I had somebody like just bang that in my head. Like it's so hard to get that into people's heads. Like to really believe that to be you. And
I will always pray for a church that had young people, people who dress the same way as me or listen to the same music. And when I first showed up to Raw, it was just my mind was blown when I got there because everything that I've been praying for was just there. God put it there for me. Young people, they dress the same, and they have one vision, grow with God. Just stay strong, and wherever you're going through, just keep going. We're all here for you. That's what Raw is. We're here for everybody. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter what you're going through. We're always going to be here. We're not here to judge. We're all going through the same thing as you. Always. I'm always wrong.
I'm so raw.